NLP is modeling excellence. And once you realize there are just a few basic techniques that you can expand on and make your own when you go to master level, anybody can learn them. Anybody can learn from things like the spelling cure, the fast phobia cure, the maths cure, the allergy cure. Exciting to learn how to change. I know when I first started in 1984 learning NLP, it wasn't on anybody's radar in the UK. I was doing a master's degree in applied linguistics at Reading University, and we had to search around for a dissertation subject. And I found this thing called neurolinguistic programming. Wow, the idea that you could program yourself through your language, not just words, but body language, all the linguistic systems of signs and signals, and into your neuro. At the time, we had a subject called neurolinguistics, which was mostly Chomsky grammar, which again is what the deep structure of grammar is. And they don't seem to teach it very much in NLP courses these days. But I had this amazing start because I kept saying I wanted to do NLP. Oh, it's American. Oh, we don't know that. It's not science.
To train with you and learn from you. They're learning not just NLP, but all your wealth of experience, all your knowledge, and going right back to the early days, really, because it wasn't that long after NLP came about that you began your studies within it. So you really do have almost the entire longevity of NLP as long as it's been going.
Yeah, I've seen the history of it grow, and I've seen how, those of us that have learned from the very roots, and there are some people like Barry Neal, for example, has also been to the States and learned from the roots. But a lot of people, and same with EFT, which I went and learned in the States in 2000 when it was just starting. But a lot of people learn from a teacher, learn from a teacher, learn from a teacher, and the source gets lost, and there's no standardization of what should be in a course now. But when Vanilla first started teaching, he said, this is what should be taught in a practitioner course. This is what should be taught and practiced and tested in a master course. But then you get people say, well, I don't like that, so I'm not going to teach it. Don't like that. So, and well, you mentioned knowledge. And one of the things I use is this, people love acronyms, ASK. Knowledge to me is the lowest form of learning and doing. I mean, nowadays I can go to Siri and she has more knowledge than me. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Knowledge it's outdated. Because there's something more important than knowledge, and that's S. What's the S? Skills.
I know, I should know this one.
If I call a plumber, I don't want him to have a PhD in water hydrology. I want him to have the skills to get in and unbung my toilet and not be afraid to, even if it's something that he hasn't directly done before. He's a good problem solver, and he'll get his plastic gloves on and he'll get the poop out and do what he needs to do to do what he'll do. Skills are so important.
Absolutely.
Everybody going to university these days and being knowledge-based, we're losing the skilled-based people. But there's something more important than skills. Attitude. Attitude. And I hope that in my course, I pass that love, that attitude of NLP. I didn't learn NLP because it was going to be just to make money, just to, rather than the attitude of this is fun, and to work with somebody's brain, to work with your own brain, to manipulate, fun, to talk with the subconscious mind is so, isn't it awesome?
It is. I love bringing NLP into my practice. It just changes the dynamics. And for me, when my clients are doing something like the visual squash integration, it really proves to them the subconscious mind exists. And for that just sells everything then going forwards. It's plain sailing, because you've just shown them, they've just seen that their hands moved without any influence at all.
I'm looking ahead, but my hands move, and I feel something different now. Yes.
I love the instant results, that gratification. It's so quick, and the client walks out that door and they know the changes have been made because they instantly can recognize that. And that is the true power of it for me. I love that for that very reason.
Yeah. And people say, well, what's the difference between this NLP stuff that you do and this hypnosis stuff and emotional intelligence? I said, we're like Heineken beer. Yeah, that we reach the parts of the brain that the psychologists can't reach. Because they're only talking to the...
I'm just speaking on behalf of the ladies, so we know. But I will say to anybody out there thinking of training with Beryl, I would say just bite the hand off to do it, because we spent an incredible 5 days down in London a few years with Beryl, and it wasn't just about the learnings and the teachings, it was about getting to know Beryl. She is a complete rebel, an absolute scream as well. So it was fun, it was interesting, it was fun. And I know from experience, when you're having fun whilst you're learning, you absorb it a lot deeper than when you're just getting someone boring standing in front of you. So definitely. So it's not just about the teachings and the learnings. This is just the incredible experience that you get from training with Beryl Comar. So yeah. But I wanted to share very quickly. I asked for some feedback from the team that were with you that time. And one lady has come forward and said, Beryl works, all you see is a heart. Just the heart. She comes forward with so much compassion that it was just the heart, this lady. The male on the course, so as you know, a friend of yours, incredible time with you. We have a couple more come forward and said, similar to me, where you've got that softness. It's almost like every adult you work with, you're actually working with them as a child. That comes through, that softness, that fun, encouraging side. So one lady said that's what she took away. And for me personally, it was the confidence to go there, to really go there, because when you work with people, well, you can't do that, you can't do this, you've got to be careful that, don't do that. And it was when I come back from your course, I was like, roll the sleeves up, let's go, and I've pretty much been that type of therapist ever since, because